bow practice. Some lights on, you might be able to see me. Here's the bow. That is a Bowtech Sniper, 60-pound compound bow. I'm a bit of a pansy. I've got a lower back problem at the minute that needs to be sorted out, so it's only wound up to about 35 pounds. Full shot. As you can see, there's quite a few bits of archery related gear around here. Here's the arrows I'm shooting. Easterns. Don't know if you can see that, this won't focus on that, but 2314. There is the target down the end of the hallway. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 paces. I'm 6'3", so it's probably somewhere in the region of 7 meters. So I'm going to put you on a tripod and get ready to shoot. Now, this is probably going to take a couple of goes to get it right, but there is a compound bow release aid. This is just because I picked that up because I don't really like the wrist ones. I tried one for a little while. It's not bad. I have a nice piece of cord here. See that fancy? Why pay, I don't know, 15-20 quid for a professionally made brace when you can just tie a piece of cord around? Now, as you can see, I can't drop the bow. Doesn't matter what I do. This bow also has some clips here and there for a sling that allows me to carry the bow on my side if need be. Not that it really matters in this country. So let's get to shooting. I'm going to shoot 3 arrows. The bow is currently set for 40 yards, so as you can imagine, it shoots a tad higher. Prepare myself. You're facing the wrong way. I know you're only going to get to see my back. You won't get to see the side that you really need to see because there's nowhere for me to put the camera. Draw open-handed. I'm not exerting any pressure in that way on the bow at all. Now, I try and keep both my eyes open, and I stab at this. Stab. Which is why my shots aren't particularly accurate. On that particular occasion, I hadn't twisted my arm far enough. It's difficult to show without drawing the bow. I don't really want to draw it that way because there's a window the other side of the camera. But if my hand isn't twisted out this way enough, the string will hit my arm. People say put an arm guard on. Personally, I'd rather not, because it reminds me very clearly and very quickly that I'm not holding the bow properly. So again, I'm looking for the target. I've found the target. I'm hovering as close to the target as I can and letting rip. Now this is the last one. I only shoot 3 at a time because when I start shooting 6s or more at this range, it ends up costing a set of flights every few days. And when I do this once a day for about 15 to 20 minutes, you probably heard that rattly sort of sound. I'll show you what the rattly sound was all about. The rattly sound is the arrows hitting each other, which is obviously, I'm trying to avoid that if you can, because it gets quite expensive. I'm going to put you on pause for a minute, collect them arrows, and then I'll probably put you down the hallway. Now you are now standing in a position where you would really not ever want to be. Okay. I'm going to be shooting straight at you. So reload an arrow. Again, you can see I tend to stab. I've been told there's another way, by expanding his shoulders, but I've tried it over and over again, so I'm going to try and hold the bow on target for as long as possible. The group is quite nice, 40 yards, that would be a 2 or 3 inch group. Those ones are not so good as the last ones, and hurried them a little bit too much. As you can see, at distance, 2 fingers at 40 yards turns into about 4 or 5 inches. But I'll see if I can find somewhere for you to stand so that you can actually see the draw. I don't know how well this is going to turn out. I'm going to put you on the shelf there. I mean, the camera's at about head height, so you should be able to see what I'm doing. Again, this is only 7 yards. This is more form practice than aiming practice. I do film myself a lot. And it's everything needs to be done yesterday, so I tend to not really take too much time. I should take more time into the shots, really, I think. The anchor point's quite secure and consistent. Yeah, it's about the same as last time. As you can see, I tend to get a couple in, and this is the same with when I shoot sixes at an archery club. I'll get maybe 2 groups of 3 or 3 groups of 2, or maybe 4 in a group and 1 off to the side. I'm guessing that's probably more to do with the fact that I stab at the release than anything else. Give me a minute. I'll show you how this strap I made works. This camera doesn't have a very wide camera angle on it, but this is the strap harness, whatever you want to call it. It's basically some of that 25mm webbing. It's stitched there to give it a way of stopping from splitting apart. You put it on over your arm like that, around the back of your neck. One of the straps down the back, one down the front. A little piece of tape on one to remind me which one goes down the front. Now, quite simply, we attach it to the clips on the bow. You can actually find both straps. Do that at each end. Kind of open, you can see where you are. Probably can't, but you've got a bow then, and you've got your hands free. So if you want to walk around, I'm going to check if you can see the edge of the table, which you can't. Excuse the noise. See the edge of the strap. It does also allow me, with a bit of aid, to fire the bow while it's still strapped to my shoulder. So even if it did fall out of my hand, I still have a secondary safety device to stop the bow from falling to the floor, which we don't want, obviously. The last thing you want to do if you're out hunting or shooting or killing zombies is for your bow to drop to the floor. But that's basically how it works. Again, this is all standard stuff you can buy off of eBay. It's probably cost me about, I don't know, 10 of the bits and pieces. and maybe an hour to make it. Took quite a bit of measuring and farting around to get it so that it fit properly. After all said and done, that's it. That's about it for that bow. I will get some slow motion shots when I go to archery next. There's a couple of fellas up there that obviously want to use the camera to film themselves. It helps improve form. They can see where they're being a bit too rough with the bow or not particularly doing too well. That'll be it for the Bowtech Sniper now until I actually get out to shoot it. I have a video or a series of videos that I want to do on this. There's a few mods that I'm going to make to it. Not that doesn't belong to me. That's horrible. It makes a horrible noise. But there's a few mods. Well, I've already done one mod to it. I took the arrow rest off and I'm shooting off the shelf with these jazzies. But they need feathers, so I'm waiting for them to get destroyed. Once they're destroyed, I'll change it, but that's another video altogether anyway. See ya!